What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I know I keep talking about Kotaku recently, but that's just because they keep coming up in the news. And this is no different. It's a story that I've been trying to get to for a few days, but holy crap, it's just one thing after another when it comes to this organization. It's like the least organized place I've ever seen for a professional work environment. But here we have more evidence leading us to believe that Kotaku is in a death spiral, collapsing onto itself, unsustainable with the types of people they've been employing, up to and including contacting my wife for the sole reason of trying to silence me. And when it backfired gloriously for everyone to see, when it all comes to an end, they'll have no one to blame but themselves. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down the latest layoffs at Kotaku. This time, it's 4 employees, 1 writer, and 3 videographers. And looking into the history of Kotaku's YouTube channel, the views that it's been getting are beyond pathetic. Like, this would be decent for someone starting up a YouTube channel in 2024 without much of an audience and talking about some interesting things that the audience wants to hear. It might get them to grow and get some views. It would be totally understandable and normal. Kotaku is an enterprise that has over 2 million followers on Twitter alone. It is the most ass-backwards organization I have ever seen run, and these people in charge are so completely broken that they have no idea how to run a business. And the people they've laid off are now blaming themselves for the organizational structural failure from the top down. Kotaku has somehow survived video game journalism by using identity politics over the last decade or so. They've faced the expected bumps in the road and turbulent times as they've recently laid off 4 more staff members. And it feels like things are about to get a lot worse for this company, and they may not get any better down the road. This feels like a death spiral that they're entering. Levi L. Winslow, one of the writers for Kotaku, said on Twitter, "Well, Geo Media laid me off along with 3 other video folks, all of whom are my good friends. It was a turbulent ride with a shitty ending, but despite the ups and downs, I'm proud of what I've done. Now I'm gonna cry." Being laid off is not fun. I've been there before, and most people have as well. And it's not something that I would like to be gloating over. I don't like to see careers being ended because of horrific management decisions from the top down. Kotaku could be pushing the YouTube channel, blowing up the brand, doing something with the over 2 million followers on their Twitter account, showcasing these videos, getting something more interesting, hiring some professional YouTubers to work alongside these people that are clearly unqualified to navigate the landscape of online social media. And it's okay, because Kotaku has made it far enough to be successful. Identity politics did work for them for a very long time, before much of the community wised up to what was happening and saw right before their eyes how lies were being spewed in order to get an agenda being pushed. But the problem is, they don't want to ask for help from YouTubers. They look at YouTubers as the enemy, as the people that are trying to end them and take over what they do. And unfortunately, because that's their approach to all this, it's exactly what's going to be happening. Levi continued, quote, treating himself, "Thank you, everyone. The kind words have been heartwarming. I'm unfortunately internalizing the layoff, blaming myself for my incompetence or whatever. But life will go on, and so will I. I'm taking a step back from games and putting the pen down for a while," and puts a heart emoji. And Levi L, as he goes by, is not someone I've really had much of an issue with. I mean, sure, he's the one that wrote the Stellar Blade, Eve is hottest when she's not revealing everything article, but whatever. I mean, that's his opinion, and it seemed to be in line with a lot of the other opinions he's had, and it is what it is. I'm not going to stomp on his grave after he's been let go from Kotaku that are reasons outside of his control. That's not the purpose of this video. I want to talk about how this is signaling the death spiral of this company, collapsing onto itself because they've refused to talk to the community, befriend the community, reach out and figure out what is interesting and what people want to hear, and instead make an enemy of the people. The exact damn thing that G4 did when they hired Frosk and basically called out the viewers and attacked them, telling them if they don't want to watch, change the channel.
You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day and you're gatekeeping the gaming space. So maybe for 2022, we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace!
It's basically how Kotaku's been acting when people are telling them they want the full story. Stop giving us these half-baked lies and these false narratives and this agenda-driven articles. Just give us the truth, the full truth, and talk to us, communicate with the community, and pull us all to a better place together. But Kotaku is just way too full of themselves to do that. And when it all comes crashing down the same damn way it happened with G4 a couple of years ago, this is the exact reason why, and you have no one to blame but yourself. The other day I posted, Alyssa Mercante might have been fired from Kotaku, and she replied, this would take 2 seconds of Googling. This is in reference to when she removed Kotaku from her bio on Twitter, and I said, that's interesting. Did she yet let go with these other 4 people? Is she an additional layoff that wasn't mentioned during that day? Turns out, no, she wasn't. And she started gloating on Twitter, laughing at me for the idea that she could have been let go. Because for her, the idea of her being let go is so ridiculous that she doesn't think it's ever going to happen. Alyssa has taken it to a level that nobody could have ever dreamed of. When she reached out, contacted my wife on her DMs privately, when she stalked her down, her personal information to try to destroy my marriage because she didn't like the idea that I started a petition on change.org where I wanted Kotaku to change how they were handling situations, to give the full truth in their stories, to stop causing such turmoil in the video game industry. I feel like what I was seeking was an honorable thing. And she did not take too kindly to that because she felt like I was somehow trying to end her life or come after her. Nope. Kotaku was the issue. And part of the issue is because you work there and you're refusing to change how you write your stories. And on top of that, you have people working side by side, hand in hand with you, like Carolyn Petit, that stands by you, retweets you, and promotes you at Kotaku to saying and doing these things without holding you accountable. And ultimately, that's what's going to end your career there because there's no accountability at this company. And when the people, your viewers, your readers, come together and see the truth, your company will cease to exist. And while I'm not a professional, I'm not going to try to psychoanalyze what the hell's going on upstairs in Alyssa. Clearly, she's got some shit that she hasn't figured out and handled and resolved and whatever. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that do. But when you have people like this with tattoos that say all men are enemies and you hire them for some unbiased journalism to give a full story presented to the end user, I can't help but think the end result is not going to be a little bit biased. It's not going to be full of lies to make sure that an agenda gets pushed through. And sure, there's plenty of people out there like, oh no, you're taking that tattoo out of context. It doesn't really mean men are the enemies. It's Animal Farm. Yeah, it's a quote from Animal Farm. And you're taking it out of context. It doesn't really mean I don't like men. It's a book. It's a quote from a book. Yeah, that's what it's from. Anyone that's going to get that tattooed on them, go get help. Because holy shit, that is not normal. And this was retweeted, quote tweeted by Levi L. Wilson, the most recently let go employee at Kotaku, saying, I don't know why people use this as some sort of gotcha when Alyssa Mercante has some of the sickest tats I've seen, like OMG, I want some of them. And I know I keep saying that is not a normal perspective, but it's just not normal. These are abnormal people that have come together, congregated, and now collectively protect each other so that reality cannot hit them. And in doing so, they are destroying what is a relatively very well-known brand name in the video game industry because they're so caught up in their own identity politics that they're forgetting about why the company exists in the first place, to talk about the video games and the game industry behind it. Instead, it's turned into pushing a narrative and changing it to make more of them infiltrate the entire industry. And I want to be abundantly clear with my take here because I know it's very easy to be misconstrued. I don't have any issue with alternative lifestyles or however you want to live your life or what you do behind closed doors, as long as it's not dealing with some really crazy stuff that's highly illegal. Do you, man or woman? I don't care. The problem comes in when you start to push that agenda on people that do not live that way, and if they do not accept it, they are the ones that are being kept out of the industry, changing the dynamic of what the video game industry was in the first place. These are the people that are hired by Kotaku. It's not normal from any realm of any reality on any planet in any universe that I've ever heard of. These are the people that are making decisions on how you're supposed to be thinking, telling you that this is a normal tattoo, that contacting a YouTuber's wife is perfectly normal to do, or to jump into their DMs and outright attack them because you're so just angry with yourself and everything that's transpired in the world, and you're looking for someone to take it out on. If you are having an online disagreement about anything, the grounds for the standards that they've created are scary with the slippery slope that this goes down. That this is something normal that people should do. It's not. It's not normal. In fact, it's the complete opposite of normal. And I feel like the pendulum is starting to swing backwards towards normalcy, where we were letting the floodgates open and let people be them, be free, be you, do whatever you want to do that makes you happy. And there's something to that that's freeing and good, and I want that. But when you start opening the gates to some of these people, they come in, push you out, and lock the gates behind you, getting you out of your own hobby. Which is exactly what they've been doing with the video game industry as of late. And a lot of people, including myself, are not having it anymore. I think Alyssa is a little bit too confident right now, especially with how she's handling social media. How she said she was taking a break and then she was back 24 hours later, and doubling down and now tripling down on how it was okay to be contacting my wife, justifying that in her fucked up head about why she should be the better person in this, and how she was justifying it that I'm the bad guy for calling out their false narratives, their lies, their agenda. And because I hit a nerve, I struck a nerve with her so hard that she had to get personal with me, and she completely embarrassed herself for the entire internet to see. And the only people that are standing by her right now are the like-minded people that refuse to do any research whatsoever to discover the truth in journalism, which is exactly full circle what the problem with Kotaku is. Hopefully when Kotaku ends, it is a step forward for the entire video game community, putting us in a better place where we search for the truth in journalism and not agenda-driven narratives. If you guys are interested and you have not yet, please, I encourage you to check out the change.org petition. I'll put a link in the description below, alongside the Smash JT article going over all the information, screenshots, and references from this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash, change,